Hello. How's it going, everyone? So this is about my vegan journey and why I'm not vegan anymore. Okay, so I was vegan for 4 years. It all started at McDonald's, my first job. Um, First job was at 16. Um, I worked at McDonald's for 2 years. I ate it every day, loved it. Um, so I'm 24 now. So ate that stuff for half my high school, and all of a sudden I had a glimpse of a package of the meat patties, the hamburger patties, and that ingredient list is like that long, 5 lines deep, and I thought that was meat. So I for the last half that job, I knew it was bad. It probably is bad. So I tried to not eat that stuff, and then I was like, gosh, I gotta quit. So there was one moment where I got sick of the job, so I had the excuse to quit. Um, so after that, I got educated. I got educated in how our food is grown and raised, all of that good old stuff. So I learned about antibiotics, steroids, hormones, and how animals uh, didn't really thrive off of grain-based feed. So at age 18, I was going to Whole Foods, buying non-GMO meats, all of that good old stuff as well. And it was really expensive, really, really expensive. So at that time, when I was doing that, I got a new job, which is at a Mediterranean restaurant. I started eating there because, free food at your job. And I found out that the meat was from Foster Farms, a um, you know, big ag company that probably stuffs their chickens and beef with antibiotics and steroids and hormones and all of that stuff too. And I loved their cake. It was so good, their chocolate cake, but they had eggs in it that I just didn't want to eat. So at that moment, I went vegan. I didn't go vegan under the term vegan. I just stopped eating meat and eggs. And well, dairy was out of the question for the last 2 years. Anyways, my dad decided to bring in almond milk instead of dairy milk. For I don't know what reason. So dairy milk was already out of my diet for the last 2 years. So I'm vegan. At first, I did not know what to do. I probably was eating beans out of the can. I don't remember. So, a couple months later, I found Durian Rider, the YouTuber, cyclist on YouTube, and I loved it. I soaked up so much information from him, and I started to eat like him. Whole bunch of fruit, whole bunch of cooked foods, lentils, rice, whatever, all that good stuff that you can eat as a vegan. And I was pounding in that fruit. I started getting like boxes of bananas, 40-pound boxes, eating like 11 bananas, in one sitting, blending them up, putting sugar. Sugar started later on though, like after like maybe 5 months. Poured in that sugar, man, because he said so. Because it was just more carbohydrates for energy. So I did that. I would make like 27 date smoothies, pretty much to raw till 4, eating so much white rice. After that, I decided to go and go to the Raw Till 4 Cycling Festival. Got a bike and everything. I had so much energy. First, I got a longboard. I longboarded everywhere. I went to the store, 2 miles there and 2 miles back. And then I decided to get a bike because of Durian Rider. Really influenced me and loved it. I decided to start riding my bike everywhere. I started going on long rides, 100 miles here, 100 miles there, 100 miles. So much energy. And then I started to, this is before I went to Thailand. Sorry, I'm backing up. I started to understand the ism part of vegan. The ism, which is animals, climate, all of that stuff. So that happened. So now I'm vegan. I am vegan. And then went to Thailand, had a whole bunch of fun, ate so much fruit, rode so much. It was insane. Went up on top of the highest mountain in Thailand, 12 hours cycling trip, 8,000 feet elevation gain. Epic. And I started to see there, I started to realize that I could see my food in my poop. Like fruit. And it was pretty interesting. I didn't think of it. I didn't have a thought, but I just thought to myself, wow, I could see, what I just ate in my poop. So I come home, and then the following year I come back to I go back to Thailand to be with friends that I've met there. Really, really amazing people, and we'll be friends forever. So we go back, we do the whole shebang again. Pretty fun. Well, really fun. And go back. I went back to New York City and with a friend that lived there, and I decided to stay there for 6 months. And it all started there, but I didn't realize. It's not focusing. Oh well. Oh shoot. I didn't realize that I started craving fats. So I started eating a whole bunch more fattening foods, a lot more processed, trying to get that fats. I have no clue why I was craving them, but I indulged in them a lot. And coffee as well. I like coffee. Who doesn't? But that's not of the point. Coffee isn't of the point. I started eating a lot more processed meats, like mock meats. And then I came home. That was a year ago. At this moment last year, I was coming home to Phoenix. And then last December, and then in last January, I went to California. And that's where everything changed. I started to crave foods that I never craved before, or craved macronutrients, like fats and proteins, a lot. I was craving them a lot. So I dabbled in to a lot of nuts, avocados, oils, tofu, tempeh, everything that was high protein, high fat. I literally I knocked down the amount of fruit that I was consuming dramatically. What else? So like a smoothie consisted of at that moment in time, like half a banana, berries, a whole bunch of berries, because I was not craving sugar at all. I was craving fats. So what I was doing is I was putting half a banana, a lot of berries, protein powder in. Love that stuff because I was just craving protein. Oil, coconut oil, so much, like by the spoonfuls in my smoothie. And then a lot of tofu, a lot, and tempeh as well. I started frying my tempeh because I just wanted so much fats. So I thought, fry it in oil, just get as much fat as possible, coconut oil. After that, I started to get into mock meats a lot. I was craving something. And then by that summer, that's where all of the kind of the revelations came in on my my ailments that I was getting. My joints were sore. My joints were sore. My feet, my toes were falling asleep. My legs were falling asleep. My arms were falling asleep. What else? Bloating going on. And actually for the whole time I was bloated on a vegan diet. I came to the realization at that moment, like I came aware of having my food in my poop. Lentils, quinoa, corn, fruits. I could see my food in my poop. And I had the realization that I wasn't digesting these foods, and I know I was chewing them. I chewed. And when I started seeing my poop and my food in my poop, I started chewing a lot more. What else? Negative thoughts. Like there was someone on my shoulder telling me that I wasn't good enough. Just butting heads with my own mind. It's kind of a war, and the devil was winning. The devil was winning, let me tell you. I was getting depressed. Really depressed. And I didn't want to come to the fact of that depression. Maybe that's why it was so hard on me, because I was such a happy person. I don't know. And then as well, a lot of brain fog, lots of it. Tired, always tired. Always tired. I didn't want to really do anything. And then I got injured on my bike. Right here. that was a bad injury. That was really bad injury. And that hindered me to stop cycling. But I did stop cycling for about 7 months before that. I started probably 2 months before this injury. And I tried to let it heal for like a month. Didn't heal up. I went straight on the bike. Didn't heal up. So I was doing this keto diet, trying to satisfy my fat cravings and my protein cravings. Didn't work. I had the worst bloating ever. Eating like jars of nut butter. Jars. Protein powders. Trying to, fulfill my cravings for protein. Didn't happen. Tofu. So here comes the Woodstock Fruit Festival I went to, like a raw fruitarian fruit festival. And I thought, man, that this is gonna heal me. It has to. Raw foods. Oh, man, I was wrong. Because I had the worst cramps ever, every night. Worst bloating. I was really sad because I wanted to feel better. And everyone here says, raw. That was for about 12 days. And then after that, I get back home from that in New York City. I stayed there for a month. I go back home and to California, and I'm with my roommate / best friend, and we decide to eat eggs. And this was the 4-year mark. 4-year mark. We were at another festival we were volunteering at, and we ate eggs. It was amazing. It was so liberating. It's because my body wanted it. It was amazing. I can't explain how it felt. But from there on out, I decided to eat eggs. From the farmer's market, pasture raised, of course. Because, more nutritious. And it is more nutritious. So before I went any further with this, evolving diet, I wanted to get a blood test. So I did. I found out now, I didn't take any supplements. I only probably supplemented B12 twice with an injection in my butt cheek. Like, that's natural. That's natural vegan stuff right there. I didn't take any supplements because it's not natural to take supplements. So didn't do that. So B12 was non-existent. There was some that did exist, but the range says like up to 800 or 900, and I was around 300. Very low. What else? Iron was low. My iron storages were very low. My albumin was high. My triglycerides were high on a vegan diet. My sex hormones were low. Testosterone was low. Was below normal. And I felt that. I really, really felt that. What else? iron, B12, albumin, triglycerides. I don't know what else. So did that. And I moved back home in October, and I decided to go to Texas to visit a friend. And at that moment, during my stay, I started getting these magnificent cravings for meat. It was so weird. I didn't crave it. My body craved it. I started salivating. And let's go back to like starting of like the 2-year mark. I started getting these meat dreams of consuming meat. Consuming like a hamburger. Now, I believe that my dreams was portraying meat as a hamburger because that's what I remember meat as. So I wasn't my dream wasn't really about the hamburger itself, but the meat, about something that was in the meat that my body was kind of like giving me a message to consume. So I had dreams here and there after the 2-year mark. I decided. Oh wait, no. Okay, so I had this ravenous craving one day for meat. I started salivating at the thought of having a steak. It was so like I literally could like make a bucket full of my saliva because of this this state that my body was giving me. I could not ignore it. I could not ignore my body's cravings for something this big. So I decided to go to the grocery store, not the regular grocery store. This natural grocery store I couldn't wait for the farmer's market on Saturday. I went to this natural grocery store, had grass-fed, grass-finished meat. So I was literally standing at the meat section. I was like going back and forth, and I'm like, oh my god, am I really gonna do this? Am I really gonna do this right now? And my mind was telling me, don't do this. Don't do this. You know about this. You know about animals. You know about how they're raised. You know how about they're killed. How about how they are killed, and it's not humane, and how you're not supposed to eat meat. It's not the healthiest way. And this program that I got from the last 4 years was button heads with my body. And it was horrible. That day was horrible leading up to consuming that steak. So I built up the courage to overcome these things that I was telling myself. So I bought the meat and I cooked it up. And it was so good. Oh, it was so good. So good. I finally gave my body what I wanted, what my body needed. I felt good that I could be in tune with my body so much that I could give it what it needed. The first thing I felt, this felt like no other food I consumed for these 4 years I was vegan. I felt nothing in my stomach. I felt absolutely nothing. No movement. So subtle. So like fulfilling. No bloating. I was actually waiting for the bloat to happen. I was like, okay, it's gonna happen now. This is gonna happen now. The gas is gonna come. The gas is gonna come. It never came. No farting. I don't know if I even talked about the gas. I don't remember. But I had some bad gas. It reeked. I was kind of conscious of going to places because I farted so much. I had so much gas and it reeked so bad. I didn't even like the smell. It was like, oh shoot, man, it's bad. It's bad. Okay, so no gas whatsoever. And let me remind you, my gas was bad. I farted every single minute. And I could be the sole you could blame me for the climate change right now because I was farting so good. I mean so long and so much. It was insane. So after that, I didn't feel any of that. No farting, no nothing. And every time I wake up, I would usually have a stomach ache. Not a terrible stomach ache, but a stomach ache, I could feel something. And I woke up and I was like, wow, nothing. It was crazy. I loved it. Because it finally felt good. One meal. And then I started eating it every day. Eggs and meat. Hamburger meat, steaks, whatever. So I did that for 5 days and I started not pooping. I stopped pooping. And I blame this on the shock that I gave my system. I didn't really wind up my system for this. I just dived right into this. That's pretty much all I was eating was meat and eggs and vegetables too. Broccoli, bell peppers. And then I started to come home. I came home from Texas and I stopped this. I stopped consuming steak, meat, and actually eggs because I stopped pooping. I went about 10 days without pooping. And I blamed that on what I did to my body, which was I shocked it and I didn't gradually reintroduce this product, this food product. So I went back on a vegan diet for about 2 weeks, started pooping again, and then just last week for about like 7 days ago, I started back on this meat regimen and eggs and fish. That's pretty much been 90% of my diet has been meat and eggs. And now I'm pooping regularly, every day. No gas. And if it is, it's maybe twice a day. No bloating, flat stomach, nothing whatsoever in here. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm eating pretty much a ketogenic diet. I will have some kind of berries at night for a dessert. Yesterday I just had a kombucha for dinner. I don't eat 3 times a day. I eat actually 1 or 2 times a day. Because it's so satiating. And I calculate my calories and it's about 1,200 to 1,500 calories. It's crazy. I have seen that my face is clear, except that right there. My face is clear. Teeth is clear, clean. Yeah. Everything that I told you about my ailments is gone. I haven't had one thing happen. Joint pain is gone. My toes haven't fallen asleep. I feel so strong. I feel so strong. I'm not weak anymore. So something in the animal products are definitely helping me. Yeah. I haven't felt this good in a while, to be honest. And I've come to terms with eating animals, and I understand the circle of life now even more, because my body's telling me something's up with this. So I'm gonna keep on doing this. I'm gonna get a 6-month blood test, of course, and I'll share it with you. The negative thinking is gone. The negative thinking is gone. Anxiety is gone. Anxiety was bad. I would have anxiety attacks. Holy crap, man. So bad. That's about it. If you have any more questions of what I'm doing, you can message me. But that's my vegan story and my story about not being vegan anymore. Yeah. And next thing I want to try out is raw milk. And cheese, raw cheese, like raw butter, whatever. And organ meats. Organ meats I want to try. Because I've been researching, and they have a lot more nutrients than muscle meats. Yeah. All right. So thanks for watching. This is a pretty interesting journey that I'm on. If you are having symptoms and you're not listening to your body, listen to your body. If you don't want to, what's the point of it? What's the point of veganism if you're not gonna help yourself? If you're torturing yourself, if you're not listening to your own symptoms, if you're not listening to your own body, that's my own opinion. I don't. If you want to do this for ethical reasons, I understand, but I will never, ever promote factory farming. I only get my animal products that I eat from reputable sources, grass-fed, grass-finished, no grains, no, like all organic grasses grazed on, especially eggs too, pasture raised, and the milk will be from a farm, not from the grocery store, of course, because there's no grocery store that carries raw milk. But if I am allergic to milk, well, then I won't do it. But fish, I I will eat fish. I have eaten salmon. Yeah, that's about it. That's it. Bye-bye.